crippling amounts of money to the Allied powers in restitution. And so crippling were these amounts of money that, in fact, the Treaty of Versailles led directly to the Second World War by putting Germany in an altogether financially impossible position from which she couldn't hope to recover except by fighting her way out. That's what happened. So the seeds of the Second World War were sown at the end of the First with the League of Nations. That League of Nations, of course, collapsed by the time of the Second World War. It had clearly failed, and failed abjectly. And so after the Second World War, it was decided there ought to be another go. So they set up the United Nations. Only this time they set it up without giving it any powers to decide who got what after the Second World War. It was purely to be a talking shop for all nations. But it's now taken on a life of its own, and it has long since outlived any usefulness that once it had. And therefore now what we're looking at is a body which primarily is concerned with getting more money for itself out of its member nations, and it has no other purpose but its own survival and enrichment and self-empowerment. And indeed, those are words which were used to me by one of its own very distinguished retired ambassadors to whom I went to consult him on whether there was any longer any purpose in the UN. He said, no, there isn't. The best thing to do is to kill it off. You know, we've all got fax machines, mobile phones. We can telephone each other across nations. We no longer have to have a national or an international assembly where everybody can discuss these things, because they can discuss it directly by video conference link if they want. There's no need, he said, for the UN anymore. It is a waste of money, and politically it's becoming dangerous precisely because of its desire, entirely evident in the draft of this treaty, to empower itself and to turn itself into a world government, a desire which is one of very long standing in the hearts of those who are, if you like, driving the UN. So the best thing now would be to lance the boil, blow up the UN building, and sack all the bureaucrats and give them no pension. The time has come to shut it down. And these are the words of somebody who actually lives next door to the UN building. He said, I'd love to blow it up. He said, we'd all have a better view if we did. Now, of course, I'm not advocating terrorism, don't get me wrong. What I am saying is that, perhaps in rather colourful language, the time has come to bring this to an end.
Because I noticed that they had given Obama a very big, prominent position in the UN just a month ago.
Well, they gave him, they gave him the chance to speak to them, and then he was given the Nobel Peace Prize. All of that is designed to make him sign whatever is put in front of him at Copenhagen without looking.
Well, I really want to thank you for coming to It's Rainmaking Time and taking your time to discuss some of the most important legal aspects and social aspects of what's happening today. And I look forward to talking to you again, Lord Monckton of Brenchley.
Real pleasure, and thank you very much, and God bless America.
God bless you.